Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Iyaka na'budu, or Iyaka nasta'in, which means, in the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, the beneficent. The next mean, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. The next mean, thee alone do we worship, thine aid do we seek. Alright. To know those things right there is power. To start off in the name of God, you should always start off in the name of God. To understand and bear witness that there is no God but Allah, or Jehovah, whatever you're comfortable calling him by his name, one of his proper names. Jehovah, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord God, God Almighty, the great I am, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the universe, and all who dwell in them. These are his names. Whatever you're comfortable calling the Lord. Right? To understand where worship belongs, and to seek his aid, his assistance. That's power. I hope y'all learned something today and enjoyed y'all's day. You always learn something whether you want to or not. Word up. I try to, as a young man, every day you want to, know who you are. As a young man, young woman, you want to get to know who you are and whose you are. You also want to know who the enemy is. To know these three things is also supreme. To know who you are is supreme. To know whose you are is even more supreme. And to know who the enemy is, you must know this. The Bible say, be alert and of sober mind, because your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion. Do you know how to identify him? Because he'll come at you anyway, this and that. Come at you any way you'll let him come at you. Through smoking, drinking, at a party, at a club, through your job, through people. You can use whatever he try to use, but if you can identify him, you can capture that bastard and say to him, Satan, get behind me. And resist the devil, he'll flee from it. Whatever it is, you got no choice but to go. It's rather he gonna go, you gonna shun him away, or you can walk off. Alright, and keep it moving. That's pick up where I left off. Pick up where we left off. Just diving straight on in. Page 206. Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is what I'm reading from. Alright? Peace be upon the minister. Peace be upon the dear apostle. The persecution of the righteous, protection of the faithful is what the chapter says. None dispute concerning message of Allah, but those who disbelieve. So let not their control in the land deceive them. Holy Quran, chapter 40, verse 4. The preceding verse is very clear. According to the Holy Quran, the truth must always be rejected and classified as foolishness by the rejectors. As the first immediate thing to do is reject truth. Because you can't come to God on your own at first. Even the truth of God. When someone tell you something right to do, let's say you're doing something you ain't got no business to do, and someone tell you the truth and try to help you, I don't think you should be doing that, bro. Who was you to tell me what I'm? That's the first thing to do. Yep, yeah. First thing to do. You got your own thoughts. You can't tell me what to do, man. You already got your own ideas, your own mindset. Somebody older than you and with more wisdom than you, and it ain't just about being wise, but their life is a demonstration. They telling you. I remember I was at the barber shop one time. I was at the barber shop getting my hair cut. I keep my gun on my hip, and brother Jeff was trying to talk to him. He said, "Hey man, you should go get your concealed license." I said, bro, I don't need my concealed junk. I'd rather them know I got it than don't got it, because they less likely to try me if they know I got it versus if I don't got it. Word. Or I don't, you know how the police be tripping. I don't want them to think I'm just, I'd rather them know I got it too. Before they try to play that trick like, oh, he got it, you know what I mean? Nah, bro, you seen I got my junk the whole time. I'm not illegal. I legally own what's mine. Everything is legal. I'm not no criminal. Word. Everything I own is legal. Word. I got the right to bear arms. All right. I'd rather them know I got it than don't got it. Jeff was like, man, listen. You need to go. You should go get your concealed. This and that. I said, all right, I understand you, Jeff, but listen. Every time Jeff kept saying something, I kept on saying but and. Jeff said, man, you're not listening to me, bro. He said, just listen. Stop saying but and. Every damn time Jeff was talking, I kept on saying, all right, but listen, Jeff, let me tell you why this. He said, bro, you're not listening to me. This is like 6 years ago. It's like 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I remember like yesterday though. It's like 5 years ago. Or about 5 or 6 years ago. Jeff said, man, you're not listening to me, bro. Word. And I damn sure wasn't listening. I wasn't trying to hear what he was saying. Word. I wasn't trying to hear nothing Jeff was saying. I came back like next week. I apologized to him. I said, Jeff, I said, my bad, bro. I said, you was talking to me. I heard everything you said. I heard everything you said, bro. Word. You was telling me some good stuff. You know what I mean? But I wasn't trying to hear what you was saying. Jeff bust out laughing. Word. Word. Jeff bust out laughing for that. Real talk, though. Word. I said, I damn sure wasn't trying to listen to you, bro. But I heard you though. Word. But the natural reaction is to reject truth at first. Even if it's on a basic scale. You know what I mean? Alright. But anyway. This is quite true. It is always those who consider themselves to be in the seat of authority and power in the land who reject the truth. They desire to lead others in their rejection of the truth, especially the poor man in the mud, because he is the one whom they exploit. Their rejective behavior is similar to that of the people in the land of America today. The white man is in control and he seeks to deceive the so-called Negro, just as Pharaoh deceived the Israelites. Pharaoh had control and power over Egypt. He made a mockery of Moses, saying that Moses could not speak plainly, and he criticized Allah's offer to Israel. Pharaoh did not give the Israelites that promised land of milk and honey, fertility and riches. The white man in America is like Pharaoh in Egypt. He, the modern Pharaoh, is trying to control the 22 million so-called American Negroes. Listen, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he feel the same way I feel. I feel the same way he feel. And he talked a lot about white people, but he talking about the evil, wicked white people that's clearly running the world. Who you see in power and government is white people in power and government. Who you see making, who run the entertainment business? White people. None of y'all black people own these things. What about 50 Cent, Jay-Z? Bro, they don't own these things. They work for them. Don't you see all them around Caucasian people? Diddy and all them around Caucasian people, they don't own none of these things, bro. They in jail, ain't they? Who owns jails? At any given time, any given moment that they decide or feel like, they can lock your ass up, especially when you're with them. What do you mean? They feel like they got that right. But anyway, that's another story. I'm just it's just the fact that uh, America is ran by Caucasian people. It ain't ran by black people. It ain't ran by Asian people. It ain't ran by Chinese people. It's ran by Caucasian people. All right, that's just a fact. All your government officials, mostly Caucasian. All right, you got some good Caucasian people, but the majority of the people, a lot of them people wicked as hell. You got some good black people, but it's a lot of black people who nowadays you're the people of God by choice, but by circumstance, you acting like the people of devil. What? I can't even call you the people of God because you out here acting like the devil. You killing, stealing, robbing, and raping your own people. You know what I mean? But that's by circumstance that you're doing these things. Deep down on the inside, you know right from wrong still. You know what I mean? But many people, they don't seem to understand right from wrong. But Pharaoh, the white man's control over the so-called Negro makes them helpless in trying to follow Allah and His servant into a land they call their own, and where they can rule themselves as other nations are doing. The so-called Negroes are deceived in thinking their future in America will be a great one. They should accept their own Islam and try to do something for themselves as other nations are doing on land they can call their own. One thing about it, I'm gonna try with everything in my deity to provide a better future for the future people. Don't got a lot of time, and the people it can easily be flipped over. If y'all grow out of y'all ignorant stuff, stop wasting a lot of time. Many people, you waste a lot of time doing nothing, smoking and drinking. You spend 10, 20, 30 years looking for this, looking for that, I don't know. But we ain't got a lot of time, bro. We gotta separate, smarten up, wise up, and stand up. Can't just be sitting around, just chilling all damn day doing nothing. That gotta stop. Alright, Muz ain't doing that. You need to get the hell out. There's a lot of stuff people need to break away from. You know what I mean? And do something for self. Everything that we do, it helps build them up. You want to make music, you building them up. You want to make movies, you building them up. Where you want to work, you working for them, you building them up. What you gonna do when they say we ain't got no job for you? You ain't got the finance to go through these people. What you gonna do? You need to do something for yourself, or we're gonna be out here this and that. I know what I'm gonna try to do. I know what I'm not gonna do. I ain't got a lot of time to waste. A little bit of time I do got. Hey, I love the people this and that. If you don't understand, trying to put something in motion, I ain't got nothing against you. I ain't gonna argue with you, get mad or upset with you. I understand, you don't understand. I'm trying to overstand, because there's some young men, young women out here who won't have a better future than we had. Alright. I thank Almighty Allah for every great man or woman who came along and tried to lay down some type of path, some type of road to walk on. Because it ain't no direction, ain't no guidance. What type of guidance do we got? You don't have none. You lost. We lost. But bless God for sending one to come search and seek us out, like the Bible say. The man who will find that one sheep. They should accept their own Islam and try to do something for themselves as other nations are doing on land they can call their own. They have intelligence, but do not have the desire to do for themselves. Consequently, the white man of America is helping them to continue to have such foolish desires. He wants to keep the so-called Negro looking up to the white American for what he wants. Every time I ride past them churches and they giving out food baskets, you Y'all rather settle every damn day to get food, probably stale food. Your food might even be poison. You would rather settle every damn day to get food from a food pantry. It breaks my heart when I ride past, bro. I really just want to hop out and like, yo, the hell wrong with y'all? All y'all should come together. We can give them food. What's wrong with y'all? You rather settle? You want EBT? What you gonna do? What would you rather do? Sit around, just look at me? You know what I mean? Y'all gonna rather take a food pantry? Y'all must need to do something. Stop people on straight bull crap, bro. I'm not gonna be like that. I'd rather die. Alright? It breaks my heart when I see these people. Alright, bro. Y'all can be doing something for yourselves. Y'all lined up for these people to give y'all food. How did y'all get in this condition? The people not together. But all y'all together in one damn spot. Receiving help. Which really ain't no help. What's gonna happen when they shut down the food pantry? I don't see cats, dogs, and animals, or no wild animals lined up. Y'all supposed to be people. Y'all supposed to be mankind. I ain't never see a deer, or an ant, or none of these lined up outside for food. What? But anyway, let me keep on going because I don't want to. Well, whenever a point pop up, I just roll with it. All right, you know. They have intelligence, but do not have he wants to keep the so-called Negro looking up to the white American for what he wants. The so-called Negroes are disgracing themselves, lying at the feet of the white man and begging him to accept them as equals, and sharing the wealth of America. It is against the very nature and disposition of the slave master to accept his once slave as his equal, or to share equality with slave in his wealth, or to share equally with slave in his wealth. Therefore, the ignorant so-called Negro who has never gone to school is now showing himself to be wiser in his acceptance of Allah and his true religion of Islam than the learned of our people. The poor among our people desire to be white through intermixing with the white man and sharing in his wealth. They prove to be even more ignorant than the learned in their fascination with gaining the enemy's wealth and power, and their desire to trust the white man's power and wealth instead of acquiring permanent houses and wealth that Allah has offered. This makes them look very ignorant in the eyes of the civilized world. What is going on in the South against our people is their own fault. Since they have heard the truth, the so-called Negroes have gone back to the slave master who said that they were free 100 years ago. As a result, they are beaten, trampled, and attacked by police dogs, as though they were again living 300 years ago under slavery. These incidents only occur because of our people's great love for and desire to remain under their slave master's children. If our people in the South are permitted to vote, for whom are they going to vote? They will vote for none but the white man, whether the black man's vote outnumber the white man's or not. The fact that you can vote does not mean that the white man will allow you allow you to put men in Washington of your own, of your kind, who would love to give you justice, nor does it mean that you will be voted in as president of the country. You can never hope to attain this. If you think because Kennedy said in 40 years a Negro man will become president of the country, he will become just that, then you misunderstood. Never will a black man be able to rule. Word. A white man in America. He was only referring to the so-called American Negro's unity with his brothers. This will make him strong enough to put a president in office, but not over white people. 40 years from now, there may not be a white man in the Western Hemisphere. In addition, the president is aware of the shameful, humiliating, and disgraceful acts by our people trying to be recognized and justified in the South as an equal of the white man. This is due to the poor leadership of our people. The leaders do not know that this is a time of separation and not the time of integration. The time for us to separate has come. The God of justice is bringing this about himself by making us see the enemy clearly as he is, as he really is. It is Allah who taught me that this is a race of devils, and those of you who think yourselves to be theologians know they are a race of devils according to the scripture. What? Until recent history, people didn't really call white people devil. Not all white people are bad. Not all black people are bad. Not all Chinese people are bad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad making a point. We in a white man's world right here. America is not a black man's world. America is not a Chinese brother's world. China, they live in China. My Mexican brothers got Mexico. Listen, America is a Caucasian civilization. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. They brought black people over here as slaves. What are you talking about? Black people was sold as slaves for 400 years in America. Y'all have history books that teach y'all this, that teach us this. I ain't being mean. It's in your damn history books. You don't read history no more, do you? That's why you repeating the same damn mistake. Dumb, slow, blind, and deaf. You even worse. You worse now than y'all was in slavery because y'all don't even asking questions. And y'all performance is way worse. And why are y'all acting like this? Why are you doing what you seen the enemy doing? Robbing, stealing, killing, raping, murder, thief. Why? Y'all about to celebrate Thanksgiving? All y'all about to celebrate Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving? What is that? That's the time when the Pilgrims came over here and took the Indians' land, right? Y'all gonna celebrate Thanksgiving? Nothing wrong with eating a meal with your family. I'm just saying. Y'all ignorant as hell. Everything that y'all caught up in, bro. These white people wicked. These evil wicked ones. Y'all gonna celebrate Thanksgiving? That's when the Pilgrims came and took the Indians' land. Trick their ass. Go to an Indian brother and talk about Thanksgiving. If he got some type of knowledge of himself, he'll look at you with an undie. That's just like going to one of my Jewish brothers talking to them about Adolf Hitler. And that's like somebody celebrating Adolf Hitler then. A real Jewish person who went through that, they're gonna look at you with an undie. Like, bruh, that ain't nothing to celebrate. Well, how do you think a black man's supposed to feel in America? Oh, we ain't supposed to have no feelings, are we? We're not supposed to think, are we? We've been captured, brought, sold as slaves for 400 years by a race of devils. It wasn't God that made us slaves, but it was devils. What was these devils in the form of? Caucasians. 400 years. Whooping the hell out of y'all. In the name of Christianity. Jesus ain't know nothing about Christianity. Jesus' last name was not Christian. His name was Christ Jesus. Christ is a... The name Christ is a title. That's just like a president. It's just like an emperor. It's just like a captain. It's just like it's a title. Word. Christ is mean Messiah. Jesus ain't know nothing about Christianity at all. I never read one time in the Bible nothing about Christianity, and I read that Bible really, really well. As you see, I don't just read books, but I read people. Word. Pay attention. I ain't one of these silly people. I thank God for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He wasn't one of these silly people. Word. You got some good white people who will point out this own truth. Word. Some of my good white brothers, they'll point this own truth out. Word. Yeah. That's how I can tell those who stand for truth and those who don't. If this offends you, the truth hurt. But those of you who think yourselves to be theologians know they are a race of devils according to the scriptures. Some of you may argue that you do not believe the scriptures, where they teach the knowledge of this race of people. But this is written in both the Holy Quran and Bible several times. You will be punished for ignoring this truth, as were the Israelites. They were in love with the Egyptians. Yep, they didn't want to leave Egypt. They even got on Moses. Why are you taking us up out of Egypt? This and that. God whooped their asses, didn't they? One thing about the kid. Hey, I ain't got to get beat up. Word. I don't think I've never been beat up. I don't think. Nah. I done had my ass whooped a few times. By my dad and stuff when I was younger. But I don't gotta I don't gotta live a lifestyle getting my ass whooped. I see other people. It ain't pleasant. I come from the street. Look. I ain't got to do 10, 15, 20 years. To learn my lesson. I see people all the time. Alright, that's all I see. Alright, come from the street. Why do you think I... Listen, man. Look, I can't speak like I want to on here. I can be up in New York right now, sure. Or up in the Big Apple. I don't need nobody telling me to slow down. Yeah, I know it ain't set up for me to win. Word. I seen people who way more bread than me, as far as and got more leverage. You know what I mean? They got more accessible doors that was there open for them. I ain't never had that. I ain't never had no this and that, bro. You know what I mean? Far as this and that, nah, I gotta go find it. You know what I mean? But anyway, I ain't gonna make this about that. But the moral of the story is, I ain't have to have nobody tell me like, bro, you need to chill. I need to chill. You dig that? I was road running crazy. Many people would not made it back as many times as I made it back. You heard? Alhamdulillah. I'll tell you that now. Uh, you will be punished. They were in love with the Egyptians, who were jealous and envious of Moses. The wisdom of Jehovah was communicated through Moses to the Israelite. The Egyptians opposed Moses, and Allah became angry, as the Bible teaches you. He therefore sent fiery and angry serpents to fight and kill those who were rebellious against Moses' leadership. So it is with you today. Damn. That is an excellent story. The Lord sent fiery serpents. Satan himself is referred to as a serpent. That's fire right there. Who takes the role of the serpent? It'd be the devil. Oh, what we talking about? The devil, the serpent, in this role right here will be the Caucasian people. Not all of them, but the devil ones. What? Real rap. It is right there. So therefore, he sent fiery and angry serpents to fight and kill those who were rebellious against Moses' leadership. So it is with you today. Before them, the people of Noah and the parties after them rejected prophets, and every nation purposed against its messengers to destroy him, and disputed by means of falsehood to render null thereby the truth. So I seized them. How terrible was then my retribution. The Holy Quran, chapter 40, verse 5. Is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had in quotations right here. The 5th verse is a warning to us today. It speaks of a people God has marked for destruction. Your actions are the same as disbelievers before you. They made mockery of Allah's messenger and designed plans against him. They planned to destroy him, just as the present day disbelievers plan against my life. They desire to destroy me, the present messenger. How terrible was Allah's disapproval of their actions against his messenger. So it is today. One thing about it, my brothers and my sisters, when I come out on top, it's all by God's permission. Yeah, I bet my life that my Allah will raise me up and lure these people before I get lowered down. Yeah, I got no choice but to hang on. I was gonna do that anyway. I'm just saying. Ain't no going back. I'm in an evil, wicked, sick ass world. What do you think I'm gonna do? I can't just blend in. Nah, that game will get smoked real quick. To be idle doing nothing, that's just like death. That's very close. That's just like death, and they know that. We seek truth and justice, is what the title said. America knows that under her flag we have received nothing but hell, beatings and killings without due process of the law, day and night, not only in the past but in the present. You know, people still right now being killed, raped, murder, thief. What's them people? Dude just now killed, what the police do? He killed that George Floyd dude, Lil Trayvon Martin, Rodney King, a whole bunch of, bro, it's stuff that go on all the time, bro. I name stuff that y'all know that's historical. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on, bro, to this very, very day. Imagine what ain't talked about. Them damn jail systems, bro. It's some real evil, wicked stuff that them evil damn bastards be having going on. I'm talking about the police people. You hear me? Those that be in the jails. Bruh, some of them is some real, they doing the same stuff that the slave masters were doing. Raping people. Who in jail? It ain't females in jail. Well, you do got some female jail prisoners. But you got a lot of, bro, these people are sick as hell. Especially in some places, Louisiana, and a lot of different places, bro. Like, I don't even like to think about it. But I gotta think about it. That's the problem now. People don't want to think about it, see it, or acknowledge it. You know how many people getting it? Man, it break my heart, bro, to think about how many people getting their life destroyed in prisons. Those who know prison know what I'm talking about. A lot of stuff go unexplained because as a man, we try to deal with things and try to make it through life the best way we can. But it's messed up and jacked up. And may Allah pay back retribution on the deepest scale. On the deepest scale to all who had a hand laid on them. Rather you went through death, you been jumped, this and that, raped or whatever. You hear me? Because it'd be a lot of foul stuff that go on, bro. Or they try to break the black man every day. Same thing with my sisters, bro. But it's messed up when they try to get to the black man. You hear me? This is an evil, sick world, bro. And these Caucasian people, the ones doing this crap, they got us going on. Especially in these jail systems. I hope Allah, I hope every one of them people have a heart attack. Who doing this stuff? I ain't flexing you, bro. Every single last one of these evil, wicked, sick, satanic damn people. I hope Allah give all y'all a damn heart attack. Or whatever going on. And may your children go through some similar treatment that you put our people through. For 400 years. Matter of fact, I believe God said for eternity. Yeah. Oh, we might go through something for a little bit of years down here, my brother, sister. That's alright. That's alright. That's okay. One thing I love, man, it break my heart, this and that. Because I know what life like, bro. I know what life like. I know how real life can get. Most stuff people don't talk about. You hear me? I understand that, my brother, my sister, especially for my brothers. I understand that. Because society try to break a man down. You hear me? These evil, sick, wicked ass people. But y'all not gonna get away with that for long. Granted, y'all been doing this for this long. I do hope Allah bust every one of y'all damn hearts wide open. Who on this wicked, evil, wild crap. I ain't gonna flex you, bro. Especially when y'all out here committing heinous crimes. And people ain't got no way to defend themselves at all. And not only do y'all continue to do these things, but y'all approve of those who do them. Y'all some of the sickest people ever. That's why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. You hear me? But anyway, it ain't no anyway. America knows that under her flag, we have received nothing but hell. Beatings, killings without due process of the law, day and night, not only in the past, but in the present. She wants to make some so-called Negroes believe that the religion of Islam can be thrown out the window if they turn hypocrites themselves in trying to make democracy work. This is done only to deceive the so-called American Negroes But I say to everyone who reads this book that Islam is here among these black people of America to stay as long as their life is in their bodies. The God of Islam, Allah, is with me and will back me and others who are working hard to deliver people from such an evil and merciless race of devils. What glory and honor does a so-called Negro get under the stars and stripes? No honor, no glory, only hell. We have proof of this by their so-called courts of justice. There is no justice for you, and this America knows. She would like to hurt every one of you and make you like it. It pleases her to do you evil, but not us Muslims. We will declare the truth and die for it. Thanks be to Allah for removing fear from us. And I pray He puts it in them, and they may fear and tremble every day until they are taken out of the way. I hope all over the world, in the name of God, all over the world, every single wicked, evil, damn satanic bastard, I hope God torment them to the point where they can't sleep, where they got to keep on going to therapy and keep on this and that. Ain't no therapy, ain't no shock, ain't no this and that, ain't no cigarette, no alcohol, ain't nothing you could do that can correct your evil, wicked, sick ass mind. You hear me? And I hope God trouble your mind to on a fair scale. May you taste a piece of what you gave out. I'm talking to these evil, wicked, sick, satanic, sick ass bastards. And may you get a taste of what you've been giving out for 400 years. And may your children's children taste it too. As God said in Exodus chapter 5 through 6, the Lord said, I, the Lord, am a jealous God. I lay the sin of the parents on the children. May your children's children get a taste of what our people and our children got a taste of. When they go to jail and all these other type of things that y'all be doing, may your children, your children's children, get the worst treatment. You hear me? Talking about all y'all sick ass bastards. And if you don't get this treatment on earth, I know one place where Allah is gonna give it to you yet. Alright. You gotta go somewhere one day, buddy. And it don't look like heaven got a spot for you. Alright? And these people supposed to be upholding the nation in the name of God. Y'all don't serve God. Some of y'all who do mean well. My good Caucasian brother, this ain't got nothing to do with you. So don't be offended, because I ain't talking to y'all. If the shoe don't fit what I'm saying, it shouldn't even stick with you. You heard? But for those who will stick with, and y'all people who with these people, the Monroe, Louisiana 7 courts, with their 7 judges of hatred, are thirsty to take their own law of justice, twist it up, and throw it back upon the shelf. And when they look, they see a poor, innocent, so-called Negro begging as far back as 400 years ago, who received nothing but the spitting of anger and threats of murder from the judges throughout the courts of America. Just to mention justice for a so-called Negro in the South is an insult to the judge, who is supposed to be the judge of right and wrong between the state and opposing attorneys. He becomes a more vicious enemy against the poor so-called Negro than the prosecuting attorney. When he sees a so-called Negro before him, the so-called Negroes do not have justice under the law. only in the South, but anywhere in America. Oh, not only in the South, but anywhere in America, as I plainly stated in Washington, D.C. in 1959, in the Uline Arena, before 10,000 people. Everything has failed us as far as justice as far as justice is concerned. The Justice Department in Washington, the churches, the priests, and the preachers have all failed the so-called Negroes. We, the Muslims, we and we the Muslims were and are still being persecuted in Monroe, Louisiana, and throughout North America for what we teach of these two flags, Islamic and North America and American, and especially because of the following words that you will find on the blackboard in most of our regular meetings. Which flag will survive the war of Armageddon? Armageddon is the final war of judgment and separation of the righteous from the wicked, of what I'm sent to teach. This is a question that is asked the mentally dead of my people in America, the so-called Negroes. This question is to show the answer that he fully agrees that the sun, moon, and stars will survive the cross or the flag of America known as the Stars and Stripes. Everyone who is asked this question answers that the crescent will survive America's flag and the emblem of Christianity, which is the cross. A fool knows that the sun, moon, and stars will survive any nation. Then comes the next question. Since you believe that the crescent will survive, why not accept Islam and the flag and crescent emblem, which represents the sun, the moon, and the stars? We are doing work that is well known among all the learned whites and blacks. The resurrecting of the mentally dead so-called Negroes to give them divine knowledge of self, of Allah, and of the devil. In the past, we have been taught that God and the devil were something other than human, while the truth from Almighty God, Allah, who is now among us in person, makes it clear that these two characters are human beings. I'm not referring to the wise who already know these things, but to the ignorant and foolish. If you read your Bible for understanding of the reality of God and the devil, you also will agree that they are human beings and not spirits or non-existent beings. They exist. I have not the time or space to go into details. That is a crime, or that these words, which one, meaning the American flag or the Islamic flag, will survive the war of Armageddon or Holy War. Keep on texting. Or the war to end wars are considered a crime or a teaching to incite insurrection or revolution to take America by force. Cannot be proven to be truth by any means, by anyone who may read this or may have attended one of our meetings. If Troy X. Cade is guilty of teaching insurrection against the government, then I'm guilty because I am Troy's teacher. I would rather go to prison in place of Troy if this is the justice for the truth Allah gave me. By the help of Allah and by the blood of the original man, whose father is the originator, I, Elijah Muhammad, will fight for this cause to get our people justice in America, and by the help and power of Allah, the power that is in the universe, the power that is in the nation of Islam, and the power of every atom that is bound in the planet Earth and that is bound in other planets. What angers America is just the idea of her 400-year-old slaves now wanting to go over to the paradise of freedom, justice, and equality under the crescent of the divine religion of Islam, where they will have sincere brotherhood and friends throughout the civilized world. Were Muslims framed to whitewash is what the title says. You may know of the incident that took place on April 27, 1962 in Los Angeles, California, between the Los Angeles policemen and my followers. One of my followers, Ronald T.X. Strokes, was killed outright, while his hands were raised and with nothing on him to do anyone harm. Every one of the brothers was unarmed when nearly 100 policemen swooped down upon them, well armed and out of the darkness of the night, to kill the believers of Allah and his religion, Islam, and to stop the spread of Islam. On that fateful night, one of the policeman's bullets paralyzed one brother for life, and others received serious wounds in the chest and private areas. They were all shot down for no reason other than that the devils wanted to kill the righteous, as they have done in the past to the prophets and followers, from Moses to Muhammad. And after shooting down 6 unarmed worshippers of Allah, and with one dead, they felt happy to boast that they had killed one of my followers. The same devil policeman who killed that follower said he shot the others and was trying to kill them all. Again, this same devil was not wounded or even scratched by any of the Muslims who were not armed and had nothing with which to retaliate against such a sudden attack by the murderers of our fathers and mothers, and now the murderers of us. For 32 years, I have been trying to teach my people, the so-called American Negroes, the way of peace. And I have a record just that long in trying to live in peace with our open enemies. I have even warned my followers never to be the aggressors, as the religion of Islam teaches us that we cannot teach peace and then be the first to break peace with carnal weapons. I know who the fight belongs to. It belongs to Allah. Allah wants to make himself known in the Western Hemisphere, that he is our God and has come to save us from the hands of our enemies and place us again in our own country and among our own people. He has said that he will do this job of delivering us and destroying those who have destroyed us. This is prophesied among almost throughout the Bible. He further said that there is no way of getting along with the white race in peace. They have been found by the scientists of Islam to be disagreeable to live with in peace. The 12 scientists met to confer over the possibility of returning us, the lost found in the wilderness of North America, to our own. This can and will be done, or the prophets could be called liars, and liars they cannot be made, for they deliver the words of Almighty Allah, or his message, and that message is from the Lord of the worlds, Allah, who cannot lie. In Detroit, Michigan, where we were first attacked outright by the police department in April 1934, we were also unarmed. There were no deaths on the part of the believers. However, they fought back against the policeman who attacked them for no reason, for no just cause whatsoever, but they wanted our Muslim children to go to their schools. We refused to let the children take their first courses in the public schools, although the high school children in their upper teens could do so. But let us shape our children first. This was the cause of the attack at that time, and Allah was with us, and we had been peaceful there all the while. However, it was said after the battle with my followers, who had nothing to fight with but their hands, that there was hospitalization on both sides. There was no loss of lives on the side of the Muslims, and not a gun was fired by them. The lieutenant of police, the captain, and commissioner of police had warned them to not use firearms against us because we were not armed. This was true. But when the battle was over, there were more of them hospitalized than there were of us. Right. 1 year later, here in Chicago, Illinois, in the police court on 11th and State Streets, there was a complaint made against one of my followers concerning his children going to our school, the University of Islam. As the courtroom began to fill with spectators, 2 court deputies showed disrespect for the Muslim woman. They started pushing them around, and the Muslim brothers resented this harsh handling of the woman. The police officers then began beating the men, and almost within seconds, the entire courtroom was in confusion and fight. When the battle was over, the police captain lay dead from a heart attack, and others were wounded by their own gun. They opened fire upon my followers point blank in the courtroom because of the Muslims seeking justice and the charge made against us and our school, as in Detroit, Michigan, the previous year. In Detroit, Michigan, the police department charged us with contributing to the delinquency of minors involving one of our students, Sally Allah, who had left the public schools and had come over to the University of Islam. They charged us with going around to the various school grounds begging our poor black children to leave the white schools and come over to their own. What's wrong with that? This is when they made the charge of of contributing to the delinquency of minors. The records are in Chicago to date for anyone to read. Now, 1 year later, 1935, here in Chicago, Illinois, they attacked us on nearly the same charge. They wanted to school our children. They wanted them to go to their public schools. We know that kindergarten children and first graders, once in Islam, cannot be taken into Christian schools without having to suffer mockery and attack from the Christian children and from the Christian teachers who hate Islam, the God of Islam, and the prophets of Islam. Therefore, we believe that to keep peace with the Christians, we must teach our children in their own schools, although they may study the same textbooks, and this will prevent clashes between the Muslims and Christians over the truth of the history of the people and the spiritual guidance and message that Allah has revealed to me. The message of Islam is bringing about one of the greatest reforms for a better life to the American so-called Negroes, greater than it did ever to the Arabs 1400 years ago. I would compare this reform here with what that of the Israelites under Moses 4,000 years ago to prove the teachings of Almighty Allah of the white race being made the devils from the beginning, and that they are not ones who seek peace. They only use the word peace to deceive the black people to get a chance at making mischief among them and causing bloodshed. Know that by nature the black people are for peace, and know by nature that the white people are for war, bloodshed, and are destroyers of high morals. They refuse to show any respect to their peaceful, free slaves in America today. They know that we are not armed. In 32 years, they have learned that my followers are not armed. They have learned that the God of peace is with us by watching great mass meetings of ours and never seeing even a dispute arise. If the white race were for peace, they would thank God for raising up in their midst a peaceful people who do not desire to make any mischief among them. Here we have the NAACP, CORE, and various other organizations before our eyes who attempt to try achieving their aims of asking for freedom, justice, and equality with the slave masters' children, without weapons, without anything harmful. They lie down at the feet of the vicious, weakened, human-like beasts, only to be kicked and stamped upon, and have dogs sicked upon them to rip their flesh apart and poison them with rabid teeth. They have no respect for people who want to be at peace with them. They have no respect for the laws of justice. They have made trouble all over the world with people who were at peace among themselves until the white shadows of the troublemakers spread out over them. We have history that they themselves have written of self, bearing witness to what I am teaching today. What must be done since we cannot get along with them in peace? Let me bug it right here. Alright. I will keep going. I'm gonna jump back on later. Well, Stop at page 215. Page 215. Y'all be blessed, man. Let that sink in. Peace.